Go on then. Start the Sureet show.
Oh, you have the Cooler Touch show. It's all yours. I'll just sit there like,
That's Magic Flicks, actually. But you could be on the Cooler Touch.
Sorry.
Well, at least you say the Cooler Touch
The
is my show
Cooler-
as well.
No, the Magic Flicks. Yeah,
No.
well, you too. You try and take over.
No, I don't.
Yeah, you do.
No.
You run the show.
No.
Or you do. You try and get in. I told you, this is how he gets like guys. You do run. You do run
I run all
Magic
the time.
Flicks. So this is.
She runs me.
How do I run you? I wish I did. I wish I did. Like, honestly.
Okay.
Do I?
Okay.
I wish your voice was like that all the time, that quiet.
Okay.
Just fuck off. You drive me mad.
Can't
Look,
swear. Gotta edit that out.
This is Sureet's show.
Yeah,
She
but
can do
no,
what she wants.
Gotta edit that out now. That's
Hey, beautiful people. Welcome back to another podcast. You're here with me, Sureet and Stevie K. I don't know what the podcast is about today.
You never know what the podcast
I
is
don't.
about.
I'm just going to see how it
I
goes.
think we said on the last one, or what I wrote on the last one was, even though people are asking us questions, don't want it to be like a seriously kind of thing. It's more or less like a couple of friends chatting to other friends, giving advice, but having a bit of sense of humour and a bit of, my girlfriend's left me. Yeah, shit happens, dude. You know what I mean? Go on, find someone else. Yeah, that kind of thing. You know what I mean? I understand they give the day there, but life moves on. I mean, obviously, if it's something really drastic and serious, you don't expect us to be like, really horrible and go, then. So there'll be different times, different ways.
There is people
That's
writing
what I'm
in.
trying to say.
It's just like, what do we talk about first? There's some of them that we get are like always serious stuff. Like, obviously people know a little bit about us and stuff, and they want to go in, like, divulge into the deep dark, all the stuff that we've been to. We're like, there'll be a time and place for that. We'll do that. But it's like, what do we talk about? There's so much we have, like, as a message everywhere. It's like, what do you want to talk about first? And sometimes you're like, are you in the mood? Are you actually in the mood of talking about that today or whatever? But anyway, how's you doing?
I'm good. I'm a lot better than I have been. Yeah. Good. It's been nice. What are you trying to signal to me to shut up or something?
No, that's no signal. That's like you're here.
Okay, I am here. No, but then just turn around here. Let's have a conversation. But you're kicking me, you know what I mean? I don't know what I've done wrong. I don't know, is something on my face? Am I saying something?
There's always something, isn't there?
Because she's kicking me all the time.
Sometimes I'm like, honestly, we're out, and I'm like under the table.
One day she's just gonna go boof.
I'm gonna fall backwards off the chair.
I'm like, what happened?
I feel like doing that all the time. I honestly do. No, honestly, sometimes I do, and sometimes I actually, when you're saying to me on the way home, did I say something bad? Like, you were hitting me. I'm like, you fucking were. I can't even be arsed even go into this because you're gonna, again, what you're good at doing is no, it wasn't like that. You took it the wrong way. I'm like, no, what I can hear from here is that you need to shut the F up. Like, seriously. So sometimes there is, but when I just think, forget it, there's no point telling him when we're on the journey home. Like, there's no point. And he's gonna make it nothing.
Looks like we know what we're talking about.
Yeah, sometimes you just don't know when to shut the F up.
Okay.
Like, you talk fucking way too much.
Did you know you're swearing a lot in here? This one's going to be explicit.
And this is my podcast. I can talk.
We've got to basically put down that it's not for younger viewers.
It's not for younger viewers. It never is. And there's a bloody fly. What is wrong with?
Have you got an issue with everything now?
Oh!
Now you're going to kick
get
the fly
out my
as well?
show. Get out. This fly. I can't seem to get out of the house.
Yeah, he wants to be on the show.
It seems like it wants to be on you more like.
Yeah, you know what they say about flies and what they go around. I'm just saying, I might as well say it for you. You know what I mean? That's how you see me as.
A piece of...
See? Touch it.
That's just... No, you know what? You are really mean when you say stuff like that. Like, you make me sound like, I've got you under the freaking chapel or something.
No, you just kicked me with it.
Yeah. I've been wearing chapel on lately.
Yeah.
No high heels.
And it started with...
Yeah.
How you been?
Yeah, how you been?
It's not to be everything else. No, I've been good, dear.
Woo!
Oh, yeah. Just knock it. Yeah, you should don't drag the microphone, but she can knock it.
I did say that to her before we started. I was like, please don't touch the microphone. The last one, you made such a big noise.
No, the reason why I've been good, I think what ends up happening is, and it happens quite a lot, and I don't know if other men and women can relate, certainly when you got families, because obviously our daughter came down spent some time with her, and actually she sort of made me really feel good.
Oh, I thought it was going to be that me telling you off. That's when you kind of like feel get your. I thought that's what you're going to tell everyone, that she told me off.
It's not that. You just like listen to that and you're going, okay, you know.
That you don't really listen. No, it goes over your head.
Okay.
That's what I thought it was going to be.
No,
it gives me a shoeing, and then I get myself back.
No, it's nothing to do with that. Okay, that's like every day. So you know, what I mean, I'd be Superman by now if every man was to listen from the shoot. I'm just saying, we take things on board, but it's not really, you know, motivational. What? It's just like, yeah, okay, yeah, I get it.
But if you heard the same thing from somebody else, another female
that.
or someone else.
My daughter did not say that. She didn't like put me down or tell me everything I was doing wrong.
She doesn't need to. She's your daughter.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, your daughter came down. Can I just say, it's our daughter. Our daughter came down.
Mm-hmm.
Our daughters came down, and the one in particular.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Anyway, our daughter came down. And I spent quite a lot of time. I haven't done for quite some time. Always been busy, always doing something. And like I said, I don't know if people can relate and stuff like that. That when you're occupying your mind somewhere else, or you're trying to get things done, or you've got so many people in your family, like we do, you know, there's 6 of us. You're always thinking of one or the other, or what one wants, what the other wants. And sometimes it's difficult to, you know, make everyone happy. And that's what you try to do. Even if you're thinking it by doing work or what you eat and what you're drinking and what you're sitting and what you're watching, you end up trying to thinking, what is it that I'm doing to either make one person happy or the other person happy or the other one, or you know, and you're more or less trying to be all these different people and characters.
Yeah, and that's true. I think when you're a couple, you're a family, then it's the case. I think when you're just single. Not even single. You're just you
look after you.
You just look after yourself. You don't have to think about anyone else.
I think I've grown up or brought up in a time where my parents were all working, workaholics. So for them they didn't have time anyway, and it was more or less like.
This is why C likes to talk a lot, because he likes to be heard, because he wasn't heard as a child.
Yeah, probably. But yeah, so they went around and he was like, "Go and do your own shit, entertain yourself," and you do. So not on your back, you're more or less just doing anything and everything that you want to do, but you're not doing it. They're more or less like, leave us alone, we're doing something, you do your own thing. Okay, cool, great. I think the only thing that missed in that sort of relationship was having people to actually go and talk to when things were working or when things weren't, when you was actually happy with what you're doing and you want to say, guess what I'm doing? And they're like, going, not interested, we're too busy. Guess what's not working for me? Not, you know, we're too busy with our stuff. I think that's what I'm sort of learning more. And I think seeing my daughter now at university, she's very independent and she's very, you know, I would say very switched on. And she's doing the stuff that I probably was doing at her age. Or well, before her age. So because I was more or less married at her age.
This is what I was saying to you. I see you in her, and I'm so glad, and I just hope she continues like that, because you kind of lost that side of you.
Yeah, and that's what I was trying to encourage and support her. Not like, you know, we were having these discussions and I was going, everything she was telling me, if she was talking to me about, I saw me before I got married and had kids. I had that drive. I was doing the things on the spare of the moment. I was doing things that I enjoyed, loved, and you know, it doesn't matter what sport or anything is, I did it. It doesn't matter where we were going, I'd never been there before, I would just go.
See.
And she does that now, and I look at her and I'm going,
keep
doing that, because I stopped.
Yeah.
I started saving money, being responsible. I'm not saying that you don't. And another thing, she did sort of reassure me and said, but Dad, your circumstances changed. And it's understandable why you started becoming more cautious, why you started becoming more responsible. That's a good thing too. So it was like, she was looking at me and going, yeah, I can see where it is, and I can also understand why you had to change the way you did.
It's so nice when a child can actually see that. For me, like when I see her, I see you. And I think that's what drew me to you when I was with you, is just like, there's so many things we can go into here, like I'll talk about it a bit later, but I see you in her. But then it makes you only now like think about, geez, what were you like? Because you never did at that age. Like, so you're saying that was me. For me, it was like, me. That was not me. And that's what drew me to you, because I didn't have that world. And I wanted that world. I wanted to, you know, obviously everyone knows well, not everyone knows, but like my story's completely the opposite, where you've been told what you can do, where you can go, what you can wear, how you can sit, everything. So for me, seeing her being who she is, going back to it again, it's like I've always said I wanted a family, but I never thought of me, like what I'd want, where I'd want to go, this, that, the other. I had this little dream, and that's about it, and I fulfilled that dream. But now I'm like, I look at her and I'm thinking, wow, I want to push her. I want to encourage her. I'll say her to her
all
because
not just her,
all of them, obviously, because I never really thought about me back then, and it's like now I'm doing that. So I want her to keep going, keep traveling, keep doing, keep improving. And I say to her, and I say this to all of them, and I've said it many times in podcasts: find you, work on you first, and then everything else, let it flow with it. And I just wish, like you're saying, you didn't have anyone to go back to and talk about what you've done today, or how amazing things were, or how down you are, whatever. Same for me, regardless, considering where I came from. But with her, I didn't have it.
You don't have that either, but you just other two things was, it was like basically we both didn't have parents that we can go and speak to, either for what we did good or what we did bad, or anything. But the difference was, I was they just left me to go and just do whatever you got to do. It didn't matter what time it was, what day it was, if I was going to the gym, if I was doing martial arts, if I was in Nottingham one day, I was in Solihull, I walked from Solihull, all these things that I did. And, I was playing football with this guy, then tennis with that person, badminton with that person.
Jeez, if I didn't get home for like, I don't know, what, we finished at 3:30, was it? 22:04? That's it. The search party will be out. And
then you was in that. Basically, yours was, they're not listening. They're not there.
Oh, they didn't care.
But yet they only noticed when you were doing something
they don't want you to do.
Don't want you.
So for me, I see her, and I encourage all of them. Like, you know what? I say to you, ask each one of the kids, find yourselves first. Like, find you.
I think that's where two of us are sometimes in that mind frame. You look at me and you go in, I know why I was with you when I met you. I saw this guy who was like you were saying the other day, went to Ireland, didn't even care, just caught whatever, went around, we didn't even book hotels and all that, we'll find something, doesn't matter.
It was amazing because
it was like an adventure kind of thing.
It was like an adventure. I finally got out the bloody house. I didn't know nothing beyond where I lived. Yeah. So seeing someone who knew what he was doing, just like I see...
Didn't know what he was doing, but just did it.
Yeah, you went. There was no fear. And seeing her and them do that.
And it was the same thing when we were buying houses or doing other things. It was just like that.
Can I just stop, because I know I'll forget. I know this is funny, but I will forget, and otherwise it's going to go on to something else. I have remembered. So it is like, you were saying we couldn't do that. We couldn't talk to our parents, or they just didn't care. They just did what they did. We weren't interested. That's what it was. Our kids know we are interested in. We always want to sit down and have. And I think again, it's got to do with not having that ourselves. I will sit down with them individually, and it's not something I've just started doing. We've done it for years, like since we were little.
All the occasions, if it's good or bad.
Yeah, like we'll celebrate them, but we don't celebrate ourselves. No. This is one thing we don't do. When the kids' birthdays, we'll go out our bloody ways. If they've achieved something, or if they want to tell us something, we've always... Every event. It's not been recently.
And if they're down or low, we're always, one or the other is more or less...
And also to cheer them on when they're doing so well. I used to take them out individually, go for coffee, and I felt like I started a trend, because other people in, like, the moms at school, when you post something, you'll see this. I felt like I did that, like, started. Back then, though. It was that. This is ages ago. People are doing it now anyway, but it's something I just wanted to do, because obviously that's what we didn't have, and they can turn around and there's no doubt that I know they wouldn't say, well, mum and dad, we're there to listen. But I think as they get harder, things and certain circumstances are a little different now, whether it's relationships they're dealing with, or uni, or this, and you want to encourage them, thinking, just please focus on you. They still talk to you, but they kind of take their time before they do, but they still do come to you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I like that we have that with them.
And I'm sort of like glad that we've got that, and like that's one thing we have got.
We've
like
learned
we
didn't have.
Yeah, and that's one thing we did. Like you said, it doesn't matter if it's good. We even now, I spoke to her the other day, and I said, all I want us to always do is, and what a family unit should be, is basically you know, when someone is going through difficult times, regardless if they want to talk about it or not, just to say that we're there for you. You know, if you need us, we're there. And, you know, if you can't talk to one of us, then speak to another. But it's that reassurance kind of thing.
And it's just letting you know, like, I'm going through something, or I need some time out. Just so the
just
person
make you aware.
knows. You don't just want my time out.
But then also, when they're doing well and they're succeeding, to make sure that you're also part of that. You know, you encourage them. If they're not doing well, then you still encourage them and you support them. But if they're doing great, you actually make sure that they know you know what, that, hey, I am happy and proud, but you should be too.
Yeah.
But, you know, and I found that a lot of friends and families, it's the whole, well done. You know what I mean? As in, we don't want to. And then when you're going through difficult times, it's like going, is everything all right? But it's more to do with finding out what's going on. So, have you heard what's going on over there? It's not genuinely like, look, honestly, give us a call if you need us.
Yeah.
And we will be there. Or when you're doing great, it's not, you know, calling going, honestly, I am really happy for you.
Yeah.
You know, I'm following you on, you know, or I bought your product or whatever it might be that you're doing. That, you know what, and I'm not only that, or I've told all my other friends that you're doing this, or you bought a shop or you bought a business to make sure I've got a friend who does this, you know, and it's like, it doesn't happen. But that's what I said to her, that this is how we got to continuously be.
Yeah.
But I think what I was saying back then, you know, earlier, I was saying, you obviously felt like you went with, like, you know, not just because of that, but you saw a person in me who just went and just did everything. Even when you were at a shop, you could see how it wasn't like I'm going, hey guys, I'm going here, what time I'm coming back. I just done it. You know what? Just went, done. I'll move from one job to the other, you know, because I'm not happy here, I'm moving there. And it wasn't like I was justifying or asking or taking permission or whatever. I used to just be like that. Only when sort of like settled and, you know, joined the police force kind of thing, and then had the kids. Like, I think it was after Casey was born, I think I was still going out and doing things, but slowly started going, wearing down, like, you know, it's...
And what you say, that was...
And then saving money and, you know, being more responsible.
Mid-20s, can you imagine? You're still young,
No, it's just probably
20.
late 20s kind of thing.
Yeah.
I think I started doing that. And then that sort of changed. But now, I think the question... I was going to say, just before you... The thing that you still look at me and you're going, why can't he be that guy?
I know what...
And we do those things.
Yeah.
And you know what I end up doing is I'm always looking like, God, you know, I'm saying, like, you know, so Sureet will get frustrated and go, why ain't he being that guy that he once was, you know, that I was with, and he was all this. And I'm normally having this conversation where I'm saying, do you know what I used to do and how I used to, as in, like, it is pretense, but like, I used to do all this. This was me. It wasn't that I wanted to be this person who's just like very cautious, very this and this, that and the other. I sort of started feeling like I had to become it. I think it did, because I was more wild and, you know, risk-taking, and overpowered my life, because they were always monitoring what I was doing, how you're driving, where you're going, who you talk to, who your friends are, what you do outside. Don't post it. It just felt like it took over my life.
It did, and like, it affected me as well, like, so much. Obviously, seeing how you were, but also those little things, because you'd see what you see.
Things I wouldn't have given a crap about before.
You'd make me worry, and you'd
just...
little minor little things, like, you know, if you're driving this, behave like this, or don't do this, or don't do that, because and now you're not like that.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, it's like the news. People turn around and say, look, you know, when you're always in constant fear, like, you know, Raina sent me something, and it was just like, the world, we're in survival mode all the time anyway. And then when you're in constant fear, or you know, everything keeps on putting this fear on, this is what's bad's happening. Yeah. People live in this world of just being a certain way on God, don't, and hence why they want to even keep people who aren't good for them, aren't, you know, like bigging them up or supporting them and loving them, because they feel like we ain't got nothing else.
Yeah.
And if we don't have this, we ain't got nothing, or we feel like we're losing something, or... And certainly I think with Indian, like, you know, families and mentality is, the more people you have, the better person you are. Because if the numbers weren't high, right, numbers prove how good of a person you are, because otherwise they won't want nothing to do with you.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That is not true.
Absolutely ridiculous.
It's not the case. I mean, now, if that was the case, we got something like over 650,000 people who subscribe and support us, then bloody hell, we must be loved.
I know.
You know what I mean? It's not true. Numbers don't make that.
And it doesn't make any difference.
They turn around and so always you have this conversation, you know, You know, how many people came to that wedding? Oh my God, so-and-so came, so-and-so
But
came.
were they there when you, like you were saying earlier?
If they're going through a divorce, are they all there?
No,
if they're going for struggles or they can't, like, you know, pay for their rent, and are they all there? You know what I mean? If they, like, you know, become a single mom with their kids, are they all
really
there?
No, but
they're not there,
like
but they're all talking about it.
Yeah, like you're saying, people want to know what's going on when you're going through your stuff. We know that because we've been there.
Yeah.
But where were they when we... And I'm saying this, bringing that back up because as I was getting ready, I'm listening to YouTube. And something popped up, and you told me a while ago that one of our subscribers, he's from Leeds, he's made a channel himself.
Yeah.
Amandeep, and I was like, it popped up. So I sat there and I watched it as I was getting ready, and I messaged him. I was like, you know what, keep doing what you're doing. Fantastic. Don't let anyone tell you anything better. You know what? Don't look at likes, shares, subscribe. None of that. Do what you're doing. Keep continuing because there's reasons why I'm saying. And I gave him the reasons why as well. It's not always about everything else. It's about you as well, your growth and you as a person. Keep doing it. Like, and these I feel like there's, like you were saying, we've had people around us. Where did they go as soon as we started? But when we were down, everyone wanted to know your stuff.
Yeah.
But like, it is other people that don't know you, like generally don't know you, who have been supporting you, and it's been lovely. And for me,
keep going on with it, by the way.
Honestly, congratulations again if you're watching. He's always writing on every video we do, but like that to me is lovely because there's people that we know, and I know of now as well, that know us or are related to us, and they see what we're doing, but yet still can't come to say, hey, well done, or how's it going, when they see you, but yet they're doing the same thing now. They tried off doing exactly what I was doing, but then working their way down slowly, trying to see what works for them. Exactly the same, but yet can't admit it. When you've got people who don't know you, and you're, you know what, asking for us help, and you're encouraging them, like, carry on. This is what I've seen, like, from every family member, every friend. This is not me joking. Like, honestly, guys.
And the thing is,
this is where you realise that the people you know, they are not really your supporters. They are there.
I mean, not everyone. Some people might have genuine, like, brothers, sisters, families that do, like, you know, and have been there. And but it is more or less going, guys, don't stop yourself from doing stuff that you want to do. And just because people don't support you and, you know, you lose them, it doesn't mean that you're lost. You know, you just keep on going because you'll find the right people who do support you on the way. And that's all that matters.
And it's lovely because I see Amandeep and I see other people who have started. These are people who don't know us, but they've joined us on our journey and start asking us, and we've encouraged them, and they've started something. It's wonderful.
I said the same thing with Abi. Abi was saying that he's got this idea. I'm not going to mention his idea, but he's got an idea that he wants to do business-wise. And lovely guy, and he's only a student, and he was asking me for advice, and I happily gave him my advice. And the thing is, if these people were in my life and they were encouraging and supportive, did you know, even if they wanted to do what we were doing, obviously I would just like, you know what, this is, or if their kids want to do things like that, you're going, okay, is that what is the case?
But you look at it now and you think
this is how we started. We didn't know this stuff.
And the thing is, at one point no one knew because we did it. We didn't want to tell anyone because we didn't know where it was going. So now all of a sudden everyone does know. And we know, even if we've gone out our way and told them, there's not been, like you said, oh, well done. Oh my God, we watched this. Oh wow, you interviewed this.
You know what happened?
You interviewed the person. They're all watching.
Where you thinking of going?
But this is now the chance to say, well, we said we didn't know before when you did know. But now you can say, well done. And then it's like, no, we don't watch YouTube. We don't do this. We don't do that. Yeah,
we didn't even know that YouTube existed. What is YouTube? We don't even know on a mobile phone.
Yeah, you get all these freaking WhatsApp shares, this, that, the other. Okay, but the thing is, you would have encouraged them, and I know I would have genuinely. But like when you see, like, well, how it makes me feel is I'm happy to, like you said, you're giving advice to.
Because I always feel like if I am that person, I always want to be that person. That there'll always be people, and there have been people that I've come across, so I'm not saying there isn't, that, you know, you talk about things and they're happy to go, you know what, I'm not first, you're not taking anything from me, and it's nice to be able to give you advice because I'm in a place that I can,
it makes you
you're not taking my money away.
It makes you feel happy that you're helping
my brain, like, you know, wisdom away.
It makes you feel happy that you're helping someone, and also even though you the people that are now doing whatever they're doing, you know, people that you've known from the past, and you can see they clearly are watching you trying to do the same thing. Try to start off with the same thing, then try and venture off somewhere else. You know, before you would have been like, well, I would have given you the help, but now I'm like, yeah, I still know that I'm inspiring you, regardless of what you think and felt or still do. I'm inspiring you, like, and I feel still good even though you're not in my life. I feel good giving the advice to people who actually want to know and are there and supporting and, you know, encouraging. You don't know them. And also even with the people who pretend that they're not, you know what I mean? You still think, well, yeah, if we didn't do what we did, would you have really have taken these steps? And great.
I think now I'm just at that stage where it's like now our daughters and our son, well, our son might do a bit like what we do, but our daughters don't. It's not what they want to do, and we never turn around and say do what we're doing or what works for us. They've got to follow their own paths, do their own things. With her coming down, I think I was in a bit of a slump because not only like you're doing the work, and where it all started from is when you are, and this is genuinely like saying to her, look, you're in a position where you just have to look after yourself, right? And it's good that she's away and she gets to do that. She's very, you know, she gets on with stuff.
Yeah.
Whatever she wants to do, split of the moment, doesn't think twice. She wants to eat here, she'll eat it. She'll drink there, you know, or she'll travel there. She wants to go on holiday, boom. Great, because that's where I was. And I was like sort of more or less going, my sort of regret isn't like, you know, getting married early or having my children.
Yeah.
I think there was only two regrets that I sort of would say. And one was basically if I carried on pursuing what I wanted to do, which was in media, because that's all that mattered to me. Like, you know, movies, media, making some sort of creative, you know, films or whatever, which is what I was studying at the time, instead of like joining the police force. And the second thing is continuously doing what I did, you know, like doing those things that I still do. Like I love cycling, I had my own bike, you know, I don't ride, it's been ages kind of thing. Besides, I was riding the police force, you know, so I was still doing there. So I thought there's no point in me having one at home, I have to do it there. Football, I used to play 3 times a week, badminton, you name it, I was always still doing things. And then all of a sudden I stopped. And, you know, obviously with the money that you make, you want to pay the bills, you want to look after 6 people.
Life, and you just think, oh, your father doing what every other father does. But for me, like, when I hear you say all of this, I do think as well, thinking, oh, I got away from, you know, being controlled, a family that I was in, controlled, where I've got the life where you never have told me what I should wear, what I shouldn't do, where I should go. It's never been like that. But I never chose to think about me, and that's what I wish. But then I can't keep wishing that, because I enjoyed bringing my kids up. I loved that part of being there for them, and again, that stems from not having parents actually be there for you or wanted to be there for them. But you can look back and think, I can myself thinking, well, I could have started a phase. I could have thought about me. What do I like? Because then obviously I wasn't allowed to do any kind of sport. You did what you did when you were at school.
See, and that's the thing with Sureet is, like she just said, I've never told her how to her fashion sense and how she dresses, what she does. It's always been her. Right from the moment we've been together, kind of thing. You sort of found yourself, didn't you?
Yeah.
But the other thing is, you didn't really work, not because I never told you that you shouldn't or can't, or you should be looking after the kids and all that.
Worked here
or there, but you know what I mean? But it wasn't never like, oh my God, my job is to look after the kids and his job is to work. It was more or less like going, I'm happy doing this. Yeah. That's what it was.
And I won't even look back and say, oh, you know what, I'm glad I was there for them. Honestly, I feel like if you're not there for your children, I don't think I could have been fully me there if I was 100% working, coming back. Like you said, you didn't have people. And that's because they were constantly working. You didn't have the time to sit there and talk to them. You were the one who was tired. You come back. I'm there. I've already fed you. We've had these conversations before, but I'm also there for the kids. So they're not missing out on both of us. There's one that's actually there, present,
always there
who's there for everything. And we always made time for them. Wherever there was not a Christmas do that we missed, or a,
any play or any sports day.
We were there together, and I'm so happy that we have had those memories and we've shared them and we've been
played
there for
in the garden,
every
whatever.
single thing.
Yeah.
So, but it is looking back now. I'm like, it feels like so many years later you're trying to find you.
Yeah.
So you already knew you like this, you like that.
I felt like,
and that's what I loved about you. You knew, and now I'm like, oh, I don't regret, because I love bringing my children up. But now, what is me? Like, where am I going? What do I like? It's finding me, and I think everyone's still on that journey. It doesn't matter, because you grow in everything. You stop liking certain things, but it's about giving things that I would never have thought of a chance and just doing it, and if I don't like it, I don't like it. That's where I am at the moment, because I never did that before.
Yeah, I think that's where you are. I think we both like looking back, not in the sense,
not in
my daughter did say,
I've never
stop looking back, guys. Stop looking back. That's why. And if she's listening here now, she'll be going, guys, I told you lot, stop looking back.
It's not.
But I
because
think
you're
I'm
in
just
regret.
telling you, it's about the conversation more than anything. She did say after that, stop looking back. It was not the regrets of the path that we chosen. It was, I think, just looking back of, I could have continuously done the things that I used to do, which I enjoyed.
Yeah.
Which I sort of went, okay, I don't need to go and do that. I don't need to do that. And I could have carried on pursuing the career that my heart and mind was set in, instead of going, well, I'm going to work here. It's a good salary. It's still like the status of being a police officer and all that. And I'm providing for my family. And as long as that matters and they're eating, they're under a nice house and stuff like that, that's good enough. I just felt like if I had just continued on, and even now, like with you, it was just like more or less like, well, I loved looking after my kids, but I've still done something else for me kind of thing.
Yeah.
So now what I'm saying is what ends up happening afterwards. It's like I said, looking at my daughter, it's okay for her to do whatever she wants because she's in the position where she gets to choose what she wants, how she wants to do it, because it's just her. And then the same with my other daughter, who's, at university as well. She's doing things what make her happy for her. And, which, like I said, isn't any issue or problem. As soon as Casey goes, I'm sure she's going to find herself.
That, like you were saying, that you kind of stopped doing what you're doing, like the things that you enjoyed. How I see it is, it won't be the same for our kids. What stopped us was the noise of everything else. And I think it's every marriage, every culture, whatever, is the noise of other people and what you're going through. With our circumstances, it was, we've got married, we're young, we've gone against all rules, and, we've even left home and bought our own house. There were so many, and we weren't you weren't the typical son that should have stayed at home, and we're breaking boundaries, breaking, all these traditional stuff.
But still, the mindset was that we should have still had those people in our lives and been around it.
It was fighting it. So there was so much going on, so much distraction, so much family drama, nonsense, bullshit, I'm going to say as well, that we were so consumed in and no longer have. Now we're back there. Now we're back there thinking, you know what, we gave up. You know why? It's because we're too busy, if you think about it, thinking about, oh my God, we haven't got X, Y, and Z. Oh my God, we did this. Did we do the right thing?
Or if they were there, we could have done this.
Yeah, just sulking over things that, didn't get us anywhere other than cause arguments between each other. There was no growth. There was no nothing. Yet they weren't there to support or help or whatever. But we were trying to break through and find ourselves still. And it's taken this long for us to say, you know what? F you all, this is our life. We're not going to live the way just because we're Asians, or we're gonna live by your lot's rules, or do this or do that. There was so much noise, and our kids don't have that, so I love the fact that they don't want to be involved in all that. They hear a bit of drama, and they're like, you know what? We don't need it. Yeah. And this is what we were consumed in.
And I think
all the
even
time.
now, if we spoke, we don't do it much, but if we were just going to be talking about something general that we, saw or heard or whatever, they're like going, you don't need to talk about that.
And I love that they don't have that. They can just...
It doesn't matter. It doesn't concern us.
Yeah,
and vice versa, we do the same.
And the fact that, you said, we didn't have parents to guide us. They didn't know nothing better themselves. They still live those same routines, talking about ex-flana,
Everyone else's issues, so you don't have to focus on your own.
We say this all the time, whereas us, now, what we've been through, all these kind of conversations we have, we'll guide the kids. But they will also see that we know, like she said, you don't need to talk about it. Don't need to talk about those things. It's not going to grow.
Don't need to,
And that's how we're encouraging each other, and that's that support as a
I think that
family is what we didn't get, and we are giving. And finally have found that, because we were consumed, and we did take away certain things that you enjoyed doing, because it did take a lot of time and drainage and everything else. And I love the fact that they're there. Yeah, we are there to give them that.
And that's why I was saying that I felt better after speaking to her, because again, it was something to do with our last podcast, Listen to Your Kids, right? And
they've seen it as well. They have seen it and felt it, so they know. It's like they're not missing out on anything.
Yeah,
they've learned and grown so much more without it.
But it was like listen to them, and not only about our things and they telling us, but about their things. But I'm listening to her of what she does and how she's doing it. Yeah. It's not only making me feel, and then I was like going, that was me. So I'm there more or less going. I'm not saying to her, oh, don't get married straight away, or don't have kids straight away. I am saying, find yourself. Keep doing what you're doing. enjoy it. And even when you decide to do whatever, whenever you decide, we don't talk about marriage and kids and stuff like that. We're not that was kind of parents. But in other words, is whatever job you decide to take, whatever route in life you decide to take, don't stop being you and doing the things that you enjoy. I think that's what I was trying to tell her. And basically, I think, but find you, like you said, I haven't had a chance to find you. And I'm saying I felt like I knew who I was, but I stopped being that because I felt like I had to be this father or husband that was responsible. And what does that do? I don't know. He goes to work and he bees there, goes to all these places, but he doesn't do the things no longer that he finds fun and enjoyable because they should be sitting at home with a newspaper or going, how's your studying? How's your education? Are you like doing this? I mean, not that I did that, but I mean, do you know what I mean? It just became go there. And then, like I said, because of the police, it wasn't like, oh God, don't want to do this and that. So it's more or less, but the only problem I'm saying is now with us, is I'm happy to do the things that I used to do or want to do. I know what things I want to do, what I find fun and enjoyable. And, I'm trying to sort of discover myself. But it's, again, when your kids are older, and then you're trying to plan to do something with everyone. And everyone wants to do different things. And you're more or less, again, what you're doing is going, how can I make that one happy, that one happy, that one. And then, you know what you end up doing is, you end up doing nothing.
Yeah, you were both like that. And that's why they can say, piss off, I'm going on holiday on my own, I'm doing this. I can just think about this. But we can't do that. And if we did, spitefully enough, just go and they say, you know what, you don't have the kids.
Oh, so you didn't take us.
It's not the same. This is why I say to them, it's okay for you to do it now. Enjoy. And that's why I want you to enjoy it. Because me and your dad, those are the times I remember. Just going off, like that.
Wasn't there recently, you said someone actually wrote on that last podcast, didn't they? That something like in the sense that, I'm not going to mention names, that, like there was or I don't know if it was on a TikTok live or whatever, that their parents keep on saying you could do whatever you want after you're married.
Oh, yes.
And not now, but you could do it after marrying, like going, and like we're the opposite. We're saying,
do it now.
Go out there and live your life. Find who you are. Bring your energy up. Become independent in yourself. You don't want to find, if your future is to be with someone and you want to be in a place that you're happy with who you are, you know who you are, they know who they are, so your energy or your mindset is up here, you know genuinely who you want to be with, and that you meet that kind of person, not you basically going, I'm clueless, I don't know, let me go with this person because he seems like he would like, this, that, and the other, and then you find out they don't know and you're both trying to find each other by not even knowing who you are.
Exactly. I saw this TikTok and I feel, these are the kind of TikToks that make me so sad and angry at the same time. I want to talk about it. So it's a young girl, I think she was at uni. There's a couple I've seen too, and I've wrote on both of them. So that one, she was sitting in a car and she was just saying, I want to talk about grandparents. And she was crying. She was like, when are us Asian girls allowed to live our own lives, And she was like, my parents are always saying this. And it reminded me, because that's what my mum used to say. She'd be like, oh, biat the baad jo marji karni. After your marriage, do whatever you want. I couldn't even paint my nails. Biat the baad, you can paint your nails. You can wear what you want. And then even after marriage, when they used to see me wear something, they were like, get in there and get changed. Don't your in-laws say anything.
Considering Sureet basically chose to marry me and left home, and our circumstances were totally different to everyone else here. And considering they said, after marriage, you could do whatever you want. So she made her own choice and all that. Even then, they turned around and they used to be calling my mum and saying, you're okay with your daughter-in-law to wear these kind of clothes, and she's like going, well, my son doesn't mind, and I'm in no position to tell her what she should and shouldn't wear.
I never used to wear what I do. I never used to wear what I do actually now. I was a bit more like reserved, but I still just wore, and it was like, she's allowed, but it was like, biat the bar, do what you like, and I couldn't do nothing, honestly, couldn't do anything. You really think when you get married, this is why we encourage the kids, find yourself, you enjoy your life first.
Make your mistakes, learn.
I speak to like a lot of different age groups of people. There was someone a few days ago said she went to uni, she's now 27, she's had a child. Like so many different age groups I communicate with, and they look at us, and sometimes we don't see this. The thing is, we don't see what other people see, and they're like, wow, you'll tell your kids not to get married. I'm like, yeah, they don't. I'm not saying don't, if they want to be married.
No, if they want to get married.
I'm not saying don't get married, but I'm saying you don't need a man to be happy. You can be happy.
Or a woman,
whatever it is, be happy. And people like, really, wow, you're a bit like a bit too. And I'm like, is there something wrong with that?
In
If
your own
they're
time,
happy
if
and
you
they want it
find
in their
someone
own time,
underway,
that doesn't mean that they have to
fine.
go out there and find someone. Main thing is find yourself. Find you.
Be happy. If you could be happy with who you are in your own space, in your own place, doing the things that you love, then when you find that person that you want to be with, you know what? You know that you're not expecting that person to make you happy. You know what I mean? That you're already happy. That you sharing something with somebody else who's like individual. So you're not like looking at it each time and going, it's your job to make, you know what, can you see it? You already know what you like. So you already put that on the table and saying, this is who I am. I love going to the gym if that is the case. I love movies. I love to travel around the world. Then that person already knows this is this person.
And they're going
not turn around and go, this is what I would love to have done, but I've never done. But now that I'm with you, can I do these things?
Yeah.
What do you want to do these things for?
Yeah.
I don't do these things, so you don't need to do the things, but I want to do these things.
Yeah. And you know, the thing is, you find yourself, and
then all of a
those are
sudden-
lovely families that I do see when we go for our little, like when we went to Go Ape and whatever. You see the families who are still out there bike riding because you know what, they both have been probably doing those things and they want to carry on doing those things with their kids, and we've never had the chance to do those things. It's just the things that you know, and then like again, keep going back to like the noise of everyone else, like
and like I said, I love our children to bits, and we want them to find themselves and do the things that they enjoy and enjoy their life. And like I said, Raina basically like, you know, made me feel sort of like reassured, like, you know, you done what was right and best that you could, and it's understandable why you did the things that you did, but now you need to find and do the things that you sort of enjoy. I mean, I love doing what I do, like work-wise. I said to her, work-wise, I enjoy working with my wife and we do all this stuff, and, you know, it's something that, and you're like going, nothing, if you look at the journey with the resources and the people that you've had in your life and the things that you're doing, you still got to be grateful for where you've got to. And I was like going, I am, and it's just the things that you want to do. And again, you have to understand, even if it's your kids, your parents, your siblings, your friends, sometimes we don't all enjoy the same things. Sometimes we can't make everyone happy. And sometimes you've got to do things that only you want to do, that you like. I like watching football. Trust me, my son doesn't like watching. Sureet went with me last week. And as long as I bought her some cocktails and food,
I'm all good.
she could sit there and she'll be fine. But no one else in my family likes watching it. So I can't turn around and go, well, therefore I don't watch it, or I'm not going to. I stopped watching football for a while. I just thought,
it was nice to go out this week. It was
you know.
lovely this weekend. We found a nice place to go. It was really nice. I enjoyed it, and I think we should do it more often.
I think it's more or less not just. I did get the hint.
Because I get to what?
I got, you know, she's happy to go out. Yeah, if you want to watch football, go. Just get me some cocktails. We'll sit on the table, and you just keep looking. You know what I mean?
It was nice.
No, it is, and I think you just get to a point where you've just got to be finding that, you know, like you need to find the things that you want to do and who you are and what you enjoy. And I need to keep doing things that, you know, like even if I go, hey guys, you like want to do this? No, it doesn't mean that I don't. But many times I think I did. I stopped going, well, I haven't got no one else who wants to do it. They don't want to do it, then therefore don't do it. I think it's that. And it's that thing of learning, that you can still learn things from your kids. Like you look at them and they make you happy. From like, so sometimes they're doing things that you wish you did. Yeah. You know? And but then at the same time, like I said, I'm encouraging her to keep enjoying her life and keep improving, keep growing. Same with the others. But they're also sort of reassuring and telling us that, guys, you're doing great. You know what I mean? And that's what, relationship and love is all about, kind of thing.
What I also love as well is at times, like, it has been difficult when you're trying to say certain things to them, get your point across, but you're parents and they don't want to hear what you want to say. But slowly, they finally do see it, and they're addressing it themselves, questioning themselves. Why was I like? What was I doing? Like, they are going back, because we do need to go back.
I think we're doing the same. We going back and addressing when we said things and done things, and they're going, you like done this, and we're going, yeah, we did. Why did we? Yeah. Why were we thinking like that for? Because honestly, we were stuck in a certain mindset where I think there was this battle of being like, growing up in that Indian family of how we should have been and how we know everyone else to be, and then breaking away and going, we don't want to be that, but yet we still should be stuck to this. Yeah. And then getting dragged here and there, and then sometimes those thoughts and opinions and words come out in a certain way, then you look back and you're going, whoa, that isn't, no, that was you. And I had a conversation, this was some time ago, way before COVID, to an old friend of mine, and he more or less he sort of addressed, we sort of had a bit of a fallout kind of thing over something, and he sort of addressed, this isn't you used to be X, Y and Z.
Yeah.
And I think that clicked with me.
Yeah.
Because all that time it was just like going, this person sort of addressed that, you've changed. Mm. You used to be more like this, like I am. And I was like going, damn, and basically saying when I was a teenager, I was in a certain way. And now, you know what, now you think, now you're doing this and you're not bothered about this, and these older views and, opinions. To him, it's not old, but I mean, you know what I mean? These traditional views and opinions, I'm not going, that isn't me.
Yeah.
You're right, I have changed.
Yeah.
But I'm not fussed. I'm good. Mm. So that's a good thing.
It is. You have to, you know what I mean, change. You don't have to be the same person you were, especially when you were a teenager. Who
No, because again, remember, you brought up in a home around family, around cousins, relatives, friends who are from probably similar backgrounds. So everything you heard, it wasn't like you had social media and stuff. Everything you heard or you knew was everything from around your environment.
Yeah.
So you are going to be that just person and talking the same talk.
I think quite a lot about is the other thing that we had was the pressure of you being the only son.
Yeah.
Like, that was a big thing.
And I think that was also an issue that used to get to me. It was like
I hate the fact when anyone brings that up now. I'm like, dude, like...
I think, when you see other people who have an only son or the eldest in their family, like a boy who's the eldest, you look at them and you see how they sort of treat their sort of like, the boy in the family kind of thing. It's like royalty, isn't it? Like, you know what I mean? Oh my God, he has the say of everything, and they also...
my man didn't.
Me?
Little...
No one really gives a crap what I had to say.
You
end up even saying what was... You could put even the facts all on the table here like this and going, here you go, and they'll go... Yeah, it's come from him, though.
Run the will.
You know what I mean? Nah, it was just like, it's come from him, therefore. And then they'll find someone who probably is clueless to everything, come from somewhere that he didn't know, could be the biggest smuggler in the world, and they're going, yeah, this guy. Yeah. You know what I mean? He looks like he knows his stuff.
The fact that you've got a cop here who's been in the force for 20 years, giving you advice, don't do this, don't do that, do this.
And that has been my life. My whole life has been like, anything that comes from him, we don't get.
I absolutely hate that, because that pressure was then. I don't care who says it.
I was not put on a pedestal, trust me.
And yet they, and then I had that battle. I was like, I ain't giving no one a grandson. No one's having a grandson of me. I'm happy with my girls. But then he got to a point where I was just like, you know what? I want for me. F everybody else. I want for me. But that thing, there's so many traditions even to do with the boy. Like, I don't agree with, and I will not, especially after seeing how you've been. How, I used to look at you, when I got married, this is something that kind of used to upset me quite a lot, because there again, you're saying you weren't treated like that, whereas I had three brothers who had no respect for women at all, and yet they were...
All parents.
They were amazing. They were put on a pedestal. Carnabella, food was given to them. I could not eat until they've eaten. That's how it was. So I'm looking, thinking, so I've married into a house, and I see you, and I think, wow, like, this is the kind of brother that I probably... Like, you're my husband, but this is amazing. Look at him, how he is with his... Yet you weren't too involved. You didn't care. They did what they did. And I used to be like, wow. So I see that side of you. And I also used to see, oh my God, like, the mom's not that strict. Wow, she allows them to do what they... That, I was like, wow, to me, that was new. Like, do you know what I mean? And then after time, you see, okay, there might be that, but yet they're not really there for him.
It's not like, you know what I mean?
You see what you see. You think, oh, wow, I didn't have that. Mine were really strict. Wow, they're so lucky to have that.
They're not bothered at all.
They're so lucky to have that. Because they don't know what I've come from, where I've come from, and what I've been through. So to them, it's like, yeah, it's normal. Do you know what I mean?
But then in your household, it was like, it doesn't matter what they do and what they get up to, they're still put on a pedestal.
Exactly, and I don't get it, because they haven't had a child who has mistreated women, or is tells their sisters what to do. He's just normal to them. A great guy he is. But don't probably even see that. I saw that, and I was like, okay. So going on, it's like, now for me, it's like, for Veed, I wouldn't want to put him under the pressure, like, because of what you've been through and how I see you as such a great guy, and always been there regardless. You know,
I'll pay you later.
Huh?
I'll buy you that necklace later. She's gonna say you never bought me a necklace. Watch.
No, I'd want something else, but like.
Okay.
You ain't got time for that. You've got time for everything else, so don't even. I don't know why you do that. Like,
okay.
Oh, yeah, I'm up for that. No, you do it all the time. You ain't. That's the last thing on your mind.
Here we go.
Well, yeah, because it's true, isn't it? It's true. So yes, getting back to that, it's like I see how you were, and I know what I've had, and I'm like, damn, how can that be? How was that even possible? Like, how do they not see how amazing you were, and you know, you were there. You know, there were certain things that you should have done, but you just didn't, because you felt like you had to play the father role. And I'm glad you've come out of that. Like, I am so glad, because you were worth a lot. You had so much more to do and give and whatever, because you would have been stuck in that, thinking that you have to be there because your father's not there, and that wasn't your responsibility, because you weren't even seeing when it was. And even afterwards, when you tried, it was like, and we'll get his advice, but let's go to someone from India and find out what, you know, had no education or not. You're in the police force. There was nothing, never listened to, and I hate that. So to me, yeah, I breaking all those boundaries. Like, who cares if you were the only son? And you know, who cares if you're the only son? You don't have to have a bloody boy. I've got a son now. He, you know, it's just like, just want to break away from it all. Do you get what I mean? Like, it's like the rakri and this, that, they're seeing what you've, so he's learning from what we've seen, and I wouldn't want my daughters to do a rakri on him. He's just as precious as they are.
You could be a brother and sister every day of your life and appreciate it.
Because for you, it's been on and off when it's been felt like with each one of them.
You know how we sort of like being now, it's not to do with just putting a daga around a hand. That makes you a brother and sister, that you do once a year. It's about the relationship you have with each other. And that relationship should be there all the time. Not just, hey, we don't speak to you for a year. We have nothing to do with you. We don't support you. We don't encourage you. We don't be there. But then we'll just do this one thing and we say we're brother and sister.
And that's what you see in their relationships with their, you know, like your parents' relationship with their own siblings. Like, they don't be there for 20 years, but then they'll come back in their life.
Yeah, well, yes.
You've missed half of their life.
Yeah, they don't go to each other's life like my parents and all that. And then they'll send each other through an envelope or a card of, just always make sure you send me a receipt. Like, what?
Why? What does it do?
And they sometimes only live about half an hour away.
So when you're talking about what? This friend of yours who's saying, oh, you were like this and like that, you're not like, no, we all grow and change. We finally see what the world...
I think it's the thing of, you know what, sometimes there's certain things that people do to prove that, you know, they're good, or this is what you should do in a relationship to prove that you're a nice person or I care. Those things don't matter. It's what you do day in, day out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? How you feel about that person. That's what matters. Just because you go and give someone a crisp box of chocolates on Christmas Day doesn't mean that you care about them. Yeah. It's what you do in that year. Yeah. You know, that phone call, that, you know what I mean? You know, that comfort, that listen, that voice, that ear.
Like, now the girls come back from uni and they want to just spend time with... I just love the fact she was sitting there with him, and just for me, seeing that, she doesn't have to tie a rakri on your finger. Seeing her sit there with him at night time and just holding him, like, do you know what I mean? And texting him here or there, that's all I want.
Yeah, and that's a relationship. So, you know, I mean, if she didn't come in his life and just sent him a rakri once a year, it is that time of the year as well, isn't it?
Is it? Don't say it.
I think it is. Oh, we're talking about that. I totally see that. It is that time, August kind of thing, isn't it? It hasn't passed, or is it this week?
I think it was October.
Oh, no, I'm sure it's in August sometime. But honestly, this isn't planned, and nor did we think about it, kind of thing. It's just like, you know, one thing led to another.
It's crazy.
Oh, God. What?
Like, I don't remember the last time I did one, but I was forced, Kenny. I used to be forced to do rakri for, like, not forced, not that my dad had to make me do it, but it was just like a tradition that was done in the house.
It doesn't matter how much you like to,
you'd have the thali, you do this, all this.
Yeah, but no matter how much you despise them, or they despised you, or you didn't get around it,
and they didn't care about you, they bullied the hell out of you,
and then you have to still
and now I look at it and thinking, shit, man, we were made to do that. Did I want to do it? Then I didn't know anything better, just doing what you're told to do as a child. You would never do that again. That's how I feel. Excuse me?
See, but again, yours is that, but like I said, with our daughters and stuff, it's not like they have got that, you know, that kind of relationship. If you ain't doing it again. No. It's not because of that. It's because basically that, you know what, he should be there for them no matter what. not because she puts a rakri on him every year. And they should be there, you know, loving and caring for their brother no matter what. Because
it about age group.
doesn't matter if he's older or younger or he's the middle brother. It's just that we value you as a person because you matter to us.
Yes.
And he thinks the same about his sisters, regardless of if they're younger or older, that you matter to us.
Yeah.
But we not raising our son to say your job or your responsibility is that you have to, you know, control them or tell them how to live their life or constantly. I mean, you protect them, but I'm sure the girls will protect him too.
Yeah.
It's like now we look after each other,
exactly.
we protect each other.
I think, like, also being the oldest son, that you need to be there, as in because you're the oldest, you should have more sense. You should be there and do this and do that, and you know it shouldn't be the case. Everyone should be there for each other. It's not. No, I'm saying it was always the case that it would be the case. So he was the oldest. He's the only. He should have been there for us because he's the oldest son. Or we didn't. No, you lot have each other. You should be all together. It should be one. It shouldn't be like just because he's a boy. Do you know what I mean?
I think in general, it's just I don't think it's got anything to do with age groups now. Don't got anything to do with genders. I think everyone should just be mutually, and it hasn't got anything for these occasions and stuff, just to prove that, you know, God, look, we're doing this, and loads of people put their photographs on that, you know, what is it? And same with marriages and relationships, it isn't to do with those things, you know, like an anniversary, you know, like sometimes people aren't there in each other's lives, like even as a couple, they're not there together. They don't even have a good relationship. They're too busy working and stuff like that. And then all of a sudden, you know, a birthday comes in and like, dear, look, I bought you the latest Louis Vuitton boots or something, or here's a necklace, and they're going, God, what a great husband he is. Or the woman, like, you know, gets him something, oh God, here's keys to your car, and they're going, oh God, what the best wife ever.
Crazy.
That's it, but yet they got nothing. You rather not have those things and have a relationship where you're going, you know what, even a walk down the park or sitting there watching a movie and all that, we're together. There's that. And the same, like you said, with our daughter coming down and him sitting there, he plays on his computer game most of the time because he interacts with his friends, but when the girls are around, he doesn't go up. He doesn't do anything. He's around them and they're around him,
and he's so much more happier,
and it's just that kind of energy, and we're going, that's all we want, and that's all we want to keep on building and growing. But we're only going to do that if we all keep on communicating, learning, you know, when understanding.
They grow up and they find their partners, and what happens next if they're all the same like-minded people. I don't know, but what we do say is, girls, find yourself, know who you are. Don't hop into a relationship and that person, you change and grow together, but changes you completely, because we've seen that as well,
exactly.
There's people out there, so many, we'll see people we know, well, I'm not going to say it hasn't happened to my daughters, that they've lost a certain part of them. That was a good thing about them. You know what I mean? And then finally, now they're not in that relationship, they're back to the normal person they were. Don't lose yourself.
Don't lose yourself. Yeah, and that's the thing. You just gotta keep on. And the thing is, even now, it's about changing and evolving and adapting. So whatever we were like 2 or 3 years ago, like now we're doing this podcast now and we're having this conversation. 2 years from now, we could be having a totally different conversation, and people might turn around and go, do you know, 2 years ago, you lot said this. But all I'm saying is, as long as we're not going backwards, you know, and going, oh God, you know, we wish our kids were married like when they were 18. Yeah, that kind of thing. That we are evolving and changing, and we're listening and we're going, look, this was our mindset then, this is what we thought. But guess what? Now what we've learnt and what we've grown and what we see from what is around us, that this what worked, this what didn't.
Yeah.
It's just like if you're going to a gym, come on, not every workout's going to work out if you want to look a certain way.
But there has been times where, like, you know, I'm saying it from experience. I've had people that I've known in the past that are like, okay, you know what, I've obviously went through such a ditch in my life, which was a good thing. But then you're like trying to make those friendships again. Not make them, but just let's see where it goes. And as soon as you meet up, I've met up with a couple of friends now. I'm like, I don't ever want to see you again. Like, I'll be civil whilst I'm there. I'm like, Jesus, nothing has changed. Here's me as a different person, grown. I don't want to go back to that. I don't want to hear all that crap. I don't want, and it's been from friends to people I've known to family. I'm like,
I'm happy where I am.
I'm happy where I am. You be happy, that's fine. But it's going to be a waste of my time if I meet up with you and this is all it is.
There's nothing I can offer, nothing you can offer me.
Are you draining me, in fact?
Yeah.
I can't deal with that no more.
And that's the thing.
And this is a next stage. Every time I've done something like that, it's like, what do I do now? They've got my number. Change of number. Not going back down that road again. You know what I mean?
I just don't give people my number.
Not going back down that road again.
I think, and that was the other subject, I think it's harder when you're older to make friends. That's genuinely true. Everyone will tell
really
you.
Bad.
But you feel, I think I did sort of like, even this week, more made myself going, I know what I like, and I know the kind of people I would hang out with.
I think you're a bit stronger than me, because you have been steady with like, stuck with not,
So now I'm just like going, I'm good. You know what I mean? If I've got this only one person that I can do the stuff that I can with, then great. If there's one person I could do this with, but they've got to be, and I'm not saying, oh God, they've got to be like, oh, YouTubers or rich and successful and this, that, and the other. Not like that. But you know what? Genuinely people, who their family sort of matters, like as in wife, kids, and that
helping each other, growing.
Yeah, helping. They're genuinely happy for you, and they also want to improve their lives or improve themselves. I'm not saying everyone got everything worked out. We haven't got everything worked out. Otherwise, you look at our conversations. You continuously want to grow and get better. And you want people like that as well, who want the same, who just going, well, this worked for me, this didn't work for me. Or we go here and we love doing this. This is what we do as a couple.
My girls, yeah, it's true. My girls will look at me, because like you do, like I said, you feel bad. You're like, well, they didn't do anything wrong. Yeah, we weren't, it just is what it was, like kind of thing. Let's just see how it is now. I'm in a better place. Let's speak to these people. My girls are straight away saying, you're wasting your time. Don't even, like, they didn't like them to begin with. They didn't think that I was gaining, or like, there wasn't a mutual friendship. You were always there. You were the one who was giving. And they're always right as well. Then I feel like, oh, okay, I feel bad, but I think I need to get, how you are, like, I don't give a shit. I'm not giving.
No, I'm fussed now.
And to me, I'm like,
I think I did go to a point where I was, because you just like look at them once again, you're going, if I had this, or if I was doing this, then, you know what, things could be like this. And I realised, again, just like you, met up with some old friends and some family members, and I went, nah.
Can't go back. But be civil, don't say anything. You just be nice and just.
And I'm not putting, even now, I'm not saying anything bad about these people and not putting them
if
wrong.
You're on a path, guys,
or saying that they're wrong or anything, or I'm right. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying we're on different paths.
Yeah, and I think if anyone's watching and are already are feeling in the same way, I think we didn't have any. We've been back. I've been back. You haven't. I've been back and forth thinking, because I feel bad, or should I speak to him again? You know what? You're not doing nothing. You don't feel bad. And this is me, not me telling myself, because I'm actually there, like, I've done it so many times, but you need to see it as a good thing as well. You're moving forward.
Blessing in disguise.
It really is. It's going to make you feel a bit shitty, but this is where life changes.
Hence why I was saying with what my daughter was saying to me is, like, basically, and we're having our conversation, if you can do the things that you want to do and you're happy by yourself doing the things that make you happy, and like Sureet said, she wants to find that in her. And if you do that, then it doesn't matter if you don't have those people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And not only that, come on.
It's weird things. I don't have those people. I'm still happy with doing other things.
Yeah. But but you can. Some people turn around, well, if I had this or I had them, then my life could have been like this, that, and the other. I could have been happier. I could have been enjoying life a bit more. No, then you know what? You just have to learn to do it yourself.
And again, from like past experiences, having the amount of friends I did have, like looking at it now, I feel like I'm more happier now than I have having those friends. Like it was nice to have them, but there was no growth in me at all. There was none, and this is where my kids will say to me, well, you're better off, why you want to reach out? And like again, I keep saying it, that you feel bad, but you shouldn't feel bad just because you're no longer.
I don't.
But people do look at you and think, the people are going to look at you and think, oh, they think there's something now.
No. Honestly, they could be doing, like I said, they could be doing great. They could be making a lot more money than me and doing better, having a better life.
But we started this off before we even had YouTube. This was going on then. This battle
this is
of
before
where
this.
we wanted to, like, with the change in us was before YouTube. But we were stuck up then. Apparently, we were like, people look at you and think, well, they think they're not.
No, it's not me saying that I'm better than everyone or I'll make more money or I don't only hang around with certain kinds of people. No, I'm talking about I'll happily hang around with people who love football, love movies, talk about, oh my God,
how bad thing. think it's if you outwear your clothes, you outwear people as well.
I mean, it's like now I have a little bit of a banter, like, you know, about you when we're on Magic Flicks and stuff like that. But I want a guy who sits there and says how great it is to have his kids. You know what I mean? It could be a bit of a struggle and sometimes they could be a pain in the ass. But you know what? I'm blessed. Or how great my wife is. She does the best that she can. Yeah, she could sometimes, you know, she wants to fret on me, and you know, we have our, you know, things that we work on, which is honest and genuine. Or it can say she's great.
What relationship isn't?
But I'm just saying, I'd rather have someone like that, but not going, oh God, you know, that ball and chain, that bitch, fucking no, she's ruined my life, but I've just got to do it with the kids. Oh, no, I don't. Then what are you doing?
Yeah.
No, I can't deal with that. No. It's
going back and forth. From
so you're miserable and you basically slag her off all the time, but at the same time, you're more or less like saying that, you know, I mean, it's a different thing saying, I wish our circumstances were different.
And the next time you meet up, it's going to be the same conversation. Yeah. You're like, there's no point saying anything to this person because clearly...
It's that, and it's like there's sometimes going, I wish our circumstances were different. Yeah. I wish we were in a happier place. I wish, you know, what, like our jobs or something was working, like we're struggling or whatever. Therefore, things are, those kind of things, I understand those. So, you know, things can annoy you or whatever, like you say, oh God, he doesn't wash up properly. There's annoying things about, you know. Yeah. But then there's people who genuinely just can't, oh God, I'm just with this person, I can't stand them, kind of thing. That's what I'm trying to say.
I don't get that.
And... It's just that,
and it's like year in year out you see them, it's the same thing.
And I
like,
don't,
who do you want to front
and that's what I mean. I don't want to also hang around with friends who you see like once a year just to say, hey, how's it going, this, that and the other. We don't want to talk about our personal stuff. It's just like, you know, we hang out just to say,
Asian people do that.
Let's just have lots to drink and then go in good times, and just because you felt like, you know, you like grew up together. I don't do that either. I think it's got to be like someone who's open and genuinely happy to like talk from their heart and going, you know what, I'm not afraid. You know, I'm good.
Yeah.
You know, my kid's doing, you know, this, that and the other, but not like I said, boasting. It's like I'm trying to boast. And like I said, many of these people that I'm talking about, you know, I'm not saying that they ain't good people or they've done anything wrong or bad to me. I'm just saying we're all on different paths. And sometimes...
That's that stage in life.
Sometimes we just got to carry on doing different ways. We just got to carry on going.
Yeah.
And you've got to be okay and happy as long as you're happy. And the thing, if you're not happy, then you're just faking that as well. Then you go, oh, I don't need these people. But truthfully, you go, no, I wish these people were in my life. And going, what?
Yeah.
No, I'd rather watch football by myself or with my wife, or I'd rather go and, you know, do something, play golf and say, hey, you got no choice, you're coming with me. She's got her golf pants on anyway.
These are not golf pants.
They look like golf pants.
Pee off.
You could, and then, you know, Sureet will take me to her, like, sort of boring modelling things where I have to check out all the women with what they got on. And I don't want to be there. It's just like going, but if you want me to do this, then I'll do it. It's boring seeing all these women walk up and down with half couple on, but I'll do it just for you. You know what I mean?
Good. I wouldn't want to take anyone else.
Exactly. You know what I mean?
That's not just because I haven't got anyone else. No, it's more. It is fun. It is, yeah. So, I guess that's the podcast for today.
Yeah, it is, guys. Honestly, it's you learn things from your kids, but you gotta roll with the times. You gotta keep changing, evolving. You gotta have time for you, for what makes you happy. If I tell you it, just to end it off, if you carry on trying to, like, if I carry on trying to make Sureet happy and the kids happy, which I thought was my job and my responsibility, or Sureet going, I've got to make the kids happy and Steve happy, like, you know, and that's my job and my responsibility. Honestly, it not only drains you, but you stop realizing, understanding what you want to do. And sometimes what my daughter says is, you need to have self-love. You need to know who you are and what makes you happy and do those things for you too. Doesn't mean you stop doing the things for the ones that matter and the people that you love. You don't stop that, but make sure you also make that precious time to put aside just for you as well, and find that person. And that, I think that's what we sort of, the next step of working on. And see, the last podcast, listen to your kids. This is what you get when you listen.
Because in Indian households, the oldest is the, you know, wise one. You don't listen to your children. They don't know nothing. You know what I mean?
Oh, I'm just glad we all listen.
I'm so glad we're not like that.
Yeah. And like I said, still got to learn a lot. But hey, Fingers crossed everything goes the way that you want it to go. And that was a podcast.
Yes, and we'll see you on the next one. If you have any questions you want to ask, you want us to talk about, then drop them in the comment section below. And do subscribe and share if you think this was interesting and you think someone else would find this interesting. And we'll see you on the next one. Bye.